Hi, this is Jacob Erdy with MarketingPlayBook.co, and today we're taking a look at Google Display and ad copy. So very similar to our Google search campaign, we've already covered there the anatomy of an ad, and so how to write enticing ad and ad copy. But for this instance, we're just going to show you the numerous options you have when adding ads into GDN. So the first option is going to be text ads, which you should already be familiar with due to the Google search side. Your headline can be max of 25 and description 1 and description 2 can both be 35 characters each. Then you have your display URL, which is going to be the actual website you have. So for our instance, let's go ahead and use a dental website called discountdental.net. So that would be our display URL, which is going to show inside the ad copy right there. And then we have what is referred to as the final URL. Now this is the final page that an individual can land on. Now before, you used to be able to have multiple different URLs that someone could land on. As long as the final URL resolved to the display URL used to be good. But now Google wants to have the final URL. So this will be the final landing page that an individual will land on. And this is another reason why, going back to the golf ball example before, if I was using keywords around golf balls, I'd want to send the user to the most relevant page there is. And that would be my website and then the golf ball page. If it was for buying clubs or drivers, I might send them directly to that specific page. In this instance, we're going to go ahead and send the person to the final URL of individual dental plans. So I'm going to have this ad copy be about individual dental plans. You can also assign a separate URL for just mobile. So if I were to go over to URLs for mobile, I could have a separate URL for mobile visitors to go to. So in case I had a mobile website and my landing page wasn't necessarily responsive, so I created a separate website just for mobile traffic, you could go ahead and send them directly there to that mobile web page, and then all the others would be sent to the final URL. Additionally, we have add URL options, and here's where you would enter in tracking codes. So if I had was using some sort of tracking program, or I wanted to track certain tags, I could go ahead and use a tracking template. Or if I was using tracking software, I'd be able to enter in my code here, and as long as it resolved to this final URL, I would be good. Now for a lot of small businesses and individuals, they're going to be setting it directly to the final URL. And in that final URL, they can go ahead and append anything else they wanted to track. So for instance, if I wanted to track certain tokens such as placement, I could simply put a question mark after the URL and then do something along the lines of placement equals, and then use the placement token from Adwords. And in the next video, we're actually going to talk more about Adwords tokens, and for many out there, it's not going to be as important because we're going to go ahead and set up a conversion tracking. That way, when a certain action happens on your landing page, it's automatically going to post back. So you needing to know the placement isn't necessarily as important, because if you have the conversion pixel in place, it'll automatically post back into Adwords when a sell happens or when a lead happens. Next, we're going to take a look at the other ad options that you have here. So again, I'm going to click add. Then we're going to go to image ads. Now, I'm given two options here when I want to create image ads. I can go ahead and put in my final destination URL up here and hit the create ad button. And if I do it this way, AdWords is basically going to scan the page and then create images that I can then modify. And here's what some of those auto-generated images might look like. So I can go ahead and select what I want, or I can simply go in and hit edit, and then edit each and every individual ad. So we'll see here that it's going to have the 120 by 600, the 160 by 600, 300 by 600, and etc. all the way down. And so what I can do is I can then go in on each and every ad and modify a headline and description. I can change out the background image. I can customize the design, the background, the borders, as well as set the display URL, the landing page URL, or the final URL I should say, as well as enter in my tracking URL if need be. The biggest downside to selecting this type of method, I'm going to go ahead and save the ads copy now. The biggest downside is going to be that all those ads are under one ad here. So I won't necessarily know that the 300 by 250 banner is where my conversions are coming in at, while the other image ads might just be wasting a lot of money. So I don't necessarily recommend using the auto-generated images inside AdWords. I would highly recommend you have somebody customize banners for you, or simply start off just using text-based ads. So in this instance, I'm just going to say upload an ad. And now I can browse my computer and simply upload all the image ads that I want directly into the platform. So here I just have some HTML images that I can simply drag over and drop right into the platform. Now this isn't for anything dental, I just happen to go ahead and use some images that I had available. And these are HTML5 images and they loaded up just fine. Sometimes it won't load up, you might have to delete it and then re-add it. I went ahead and saved the ads, and in this manner is what I can do now is for each and every ad size in here, I can tell the exact amount of clicks each ad is going to have, as well as the amount of impressions, and more importantly, the conversions that come in. So if one particular ad isn't bringing in any conversions and it's costing me a lot of money, I can simply pause that one ad out. Now when you use AdWords to create all those ads for you, you're not given that option. They're all under one roof, kind of. So you can see the spend and the clicks, but you can't segment out those images. And that's an important distinction. Two other things to quickly cover here for ad creation is you do have the ability to create app ads, and then you have the ad gallery. Now inside ad gallery, you have 5 different options. And I'll go from the right to left just because it's easier. So you have Gmail ads, which are expandable interactive ads above the promotion tabs inside Gmail inboxes. And so basically, if you want to target people who are inside their Gmail inboxes, this is a great way of doing it. Now, for most small businesses and businesses in general, this isn't necessarily them, right? So that's why I'm kind of going right to left. And then we have the general purpose ads, which is what I've already shown you before. Here, if inside here, basically you have the ability of creating an ad inside the Google platform. So if I actually go in real quick, we're given some pretty basic templates. And from there I can go ahead and create, and then you'll see you have the options as you had before. But again, all of these are going to show under one interface. And that's not necessarily what you want. You want to be able to optimize by ad size. So it's not necessarily a route that I'd recommend going. You then have video ads, and video ads can show on other places besides just YouTube. Now you could just choose to have it inside YouTube, and I'd recommend that you check out our actual YouTube strategy campaign guide. But here you'd be able to create a video, and AdWords will walk you through the interface of creating a video. Next up are Lightbox ads. Now Lightbox ads are interactive formats, so let me go ahead and go over to a video. And this is a pretty good example. So right here, we'll say that this is the video. And this is an example of a Lightbox ad. So if I hit play, if somebody clicks this, it then pops up. And so it might have the video there or multiple videos in there. This could be an image. And then you have a mixture of videos as well as images in here that people can interact on. And once they click through something, they'd go to the final destination URL that you have placed inside your campaign. Let's go ahead and just quickly jump in here just so you can see what the Lightbox ad templates look like. So you have multiple templates that you could choose from. I would recommend you already have videos ready to go if you choose to use the video ones. Then lastly, we have dynamic ads. And dynamic ads are good for those who have a lot of products on their website. So if you're an e-commerce store and you have 5,000 SKUs of different products and services, dynamic ad is going to attempt to match people's location and the content they're seeing with your ad. So if somebody was on a golf ball website, it would then show an ad about golf balls, and AdWords is automatically going to dynamically create that ad for me on my behalf and show that ad on that relevant page. Now in theory that sounds really cool, but this is more an option for generally larger companies who have a lot of product SKUs that can spend a lot of money on the AdWords end. Generally, I recommend people create their own banners, whether that's outsourcing the work, using simple places like Fiverr.com to get some banners generated, or creating your own banners using either Photoshop or the free Google Web Designer tool. Now, in the written guide on MarketingPlayBook.co, I have links going to the Google Web Designer tool. I have also more links going to actual videos that AdWords created, talking more about dynamic ads and talking more about lightbox ads. That way you can have a fuller understanding of exactly which each one of these features do. In most cases, I'd highly recommend people just stick with the text ads, creating them yourself, or using image ads and actually having those image ads created outside of AdWords by, like I said, either Google Web Designer tool, Photoshop, or simply outsourcing it to a place like Fiverr. In the next video, we're going to be covering placements, and the video after that, we're actually going to be covering how to set up conversion pixels for your website.